Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to episode 11 of our Inventions modded Minecraft Let's Play series. If you recall, last episode we did quite a bit of work with Pneumatics. I know we've had some long episodes lately. I'm hoping to start cutting them down. Just there was a lot to cover with Pneumatics, and I wanted to get through it at a decent rate. Since then, I've got us moved over to our new base. This is really temporary. I still have to do like the supports. I don't want it to just be a solid glass dome. But right now I've just got the crop set up here. I did set up an automatic, just a little cactus farm to get us some cactus. Just recently set it up so it's got the signs breaking, feeding down to a hopper, connected to a chest, and then just item conduits running up. And then of course I just brought over our gardens. I haven't brought our animals over because we're going to need to, since there's no golden lasso in this pack, I think I'm just going to make reusable safari nets to bring them in, which are going to take 4 ender pearls and a gas tier. So it shouldn't be too bad to get. Also the villages might have some, it just depends. We might take a look at that, although I don't think there's a blacksmith at that particular village. And over here I did dig out our elevator shaft. So just really quickly I'll show you. Down at the bottom I did do a bit of mining here, but I've actually been mainly mining through here, a little bit down there and then through here. And I just recently started mining here. I've mainly been moving things over for quite a while. Most everything is on this floor as of right now. So let's take a look over here first. Right here is mainly just our EE3 stuff. I actually need to put a chest in here just to have it on hand. And I just got back from going and getting some wood and, you know, different resources, and then I also did a bit of mining as well. So I actually found 12 diamonds. I was kind of happy about that. In here, this is what we're going to be setting up today, because we're going to make a switch for a little bit. We should be back on Pneumatics and setting up our elevator next episode. However, it does require a lot of blue plastic for the size that we're wanting to go through or go for. But we'll get into that next episode. And then right in here, I've just got all of our junk. Metals, random junk, more random junk, some ores that we aren't processing yet, and then just some random gems and different things, and then all these damn portable tanks that I'd made, which we're not really using them too much at the moment. I am using these 2 reinforced that I had made to alternate between bringing in oil. But this is our pneumatics room, our new pneumatics room, and I love it. It's so nice. It took a lot of setting up. I was processing a lot of compressed iron. If you notice, in here we only have 12 iron. Yeah, only 12 iron. So that's one of the reasons I went mining, because I used up pretty much everything, and I actually went mining between this episode and last, and used up quite a bit of the iron that I had gotten from that as well. But we have some to spare, so that's nice, which we'll end up using for the elevator. And if you notice now, we have... Oh, it's down to 9.2. I need to put some speed upgrades in this, actually. Might do that. I've actually got some speed upgrades in this, so I did want to show you just really quickly. Let's see, I have 6 speed upgrades in this. So I wanted to show you just really quickly how fast this actually runs when you have some speed upgrades in there. Oh no, that's unassembled. Crap. Do I not have a... No, I don't have a empty... Not an empty PCB. No. I want a... Which one? Unassembled? Empty. Okay, it is empty. Couldn't recall. green and compressed. I've got green. We'll just go ahead and make a few of these. I'm not going to spend very long on this. I just want to show you guys this really quick. So let's change this over to assembled and throw this in there. And we'll let that run for just a second. Now you'll notice I went ahead and upgraded these compressors. I ended up adding 6 of them here. And then I've got our pressure gauge set up, and I've got it modified. I'll show you how to modify your pressure gauges in a minute. Okay, it is actually slowly going up. It's just... let's see. No, it's dropping right now. Might be because I'm running that. I don't know. We'll put some speed upgrades in this in a second. But basically it's pretty much the same. I have the ender tank feeding all of these with lava. Got the heat sinks on top of them. And then the advanced pressure tubes pulling out. This pressure gauge, I have a couple pressure gauges set up, but this one's the only one that's actually doing the redstone thing. The rest of these are mainly just for a visual representation. Like if you notice, this one's down to 5 pressure. That's because I'm running a regulator tube module that's been modified, and like I said, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And then we've got this feeding over. We've got the refinery set up. Oh wow, it ran through all that oil. But I'm pretty much stuck on the fuel, the gasoline. I wonder where is it sending it? Huh. Maybe it just backed up. I don't know. I thought I still had a bunch of fuel left when I left, but maybe not. But yeah, if you notice, we've got a lot of those two. Now LPG, that's the main reason I didn't want to do this, the elevator this episode, is because we need a lot of blue plastic, like a whole lot of it. So basically I've set this up so, you know, this refinery, if we want to, we can just pull the levers down here and it'll extract that liquid to the refinery, and then it's going to run through, and if you notice, it's starting to fill up a bit of this plastic. And then I have one set up here for lubricant as well, which I've only ran a bucket of that right now. And you know, all of these have levers, so we can you know, put them into the processing plant pretty easily. And then over here, of course, we got the plastic mixer, and we've got them all heated right now. So this should be done, maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. Let me see. Oh, it's empty. For some reason I was thinking it was unassembled PCB. Sorry about that. So anyway, if we take these PCBs and we throw them in the input chest here, you'll notice how fast they run with just 6 speed upgrades. So they're fairly fast. Of course, if you notice, they're running with 4.9, normally 5 bars of pressure, so they are running it at maxed. So we'll just throw those in there. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull these speed upgrades out of here, and I'm just going to distribute them across these 6 compressors really quick. Okay, and the way I have these set up, if you notice, like the pneumatic processing plant, max pressure is 5 bars, and the same with the assembly controller and the pressure chamber. Are all limited to 5. I did throw 1 volume upgrade in all 3 of these just to give it kind of a buffer to be safe. But the way I have these limited, if you notice, the pressure in our system is about 10, but I've got these down to 5, and the way you do that is just with the regulator tube module. So I made an extra one right here, and let's just grab some of these. I need to dump out my inventory here in a second. So say you've got, you know, some tubes ran, and you want to regulate how much pressure it can accept. at most. What you're going to do is kind of move this around. Let's see. Okay, right there, it would regulate how much pressure moves from this pipe up through this pipe. If you notice, it's pushing up right there. And if we do it right here, it's going to affect how much pressure can come from this pipe into this pipe. So we're going to say we want to regulate in this direction. And the way this works, if you look here, the formula for the redstone, it's going to allow a threshold of 7.5 minus the redstone and half that signal. So say you're putting in a redstone signal of say 10, then it's going to allow up to 2.5 pressure in the going through this tube. But we want 5 pressure going through here, and I don't want to run just a ton of redstone and all that mess. So what I've done is I just take this advanced PCB, and you can just right click it onto like the regulator tube module, and then if you right click you'll open up this little GUI here, and you can set it to advanced. And so say we wanted to just always allow a 20 pressure in it, we can just adjust these 2 bars. So at 0 redstone or at 15 redstone, it's going to have 20 bars threshold. And you can just kind of move this around if you want to say, the pressure is going to vary. At 0 redstone, it's going to allow 8, and at 15, it's going to allow 20. You can do that. You can just set them however you want to. And you can do the same over here with the pressure gauge tube module. So I've got it set to emit a redstone signal. I could actually probably move that one up. Well, it doesn't want me to. Why not? There we go. So I've got mine set up now to 19.5. So as soon as it hits 19.5 pressure in this, it's going to emit a redstone signal, which will then shut off all of these compressors. And that way, we don't get it too pressurized in here, but we do keep around the maximum pressure. So all of our machines should be running good and whatnot, which is kind of what we want. And of course I didn't mind making that because we're going to end up using those, probably end up using that pressure control modules and the PCBs and stuff with the elevator setup. So, but this is mainly just our our primary personal use pneumatics area, and there's a couple little things we'll add on to this eventually, but we'll also have two more pneumatic setups, 2 more that I know of at the moment anyway. One's going to be up top controlling our drones for like farming and stuff, and then we're going to have another one down here at the bottom of the elevator that's going to control our elevator pressure. But like I said, we'll cover that later on. And then in here I've just got our blast brick, which I actually haven't, where's it at? There we go. Let's throw it on the ground. There we go. I haven't actually formed that multi-block. Our magmatic dynamos here, which pretty soon we'll look at upgrading our power, would be an ideal situation. I don't think I have enough power conduits right now to run this. No, I'll make some more later. And let me see. Let me go ahead and throw this in here. And I'm just going to dump the rest of the stuff in my bags for right now. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really set up anything new in this area per se. It's pretty much just the same stuff. It's just all been condensed. And I haven't set up our cobble gen area, or our cobble works, I mean. So, alright. And I haven't set up our ender tank set up for water either. I need to do that here pretty soon. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to be setting up just a basic storage system, because of course it's too early to jump into applied energistics or logistics pipes. I don't know. Logistic pipes, I just feel like they're too much work at a mid-tier setup, and you might as well just go for AE, but If you guys want to see a logistics pipe setup, I'd be more than happy to do it. I used to run them all the time before, I got into applied logistics back in 1.6.4. So if you guys want to see a logistics setup, I'd be more than happy to set one up. But today I'm just going to go over storage drawers because they're actually a really nice, really cheap option for early game crafting setup. So, oh shoot, I forgot this thing was still turned on. Crap. Well, at least only got that one. That one chest there. Okay. I still need to sort through all this because like cactus greens aren't exactly an ore, but I'll get to that later on. So anyway, the way that we're going to do these storage drawers, the first thing that we're going to want to make is this drawer controller, which just takes a couple comparators, nothing too crazy, and of course those are just nether quartz, some smooth stone and redstone torches. So let me grab, let's see, there's a diamond, which I think, yeah, we still had 2 diamonds, but and then nether quartz. Do I actually not have any nether quartz? Oh my gosh. Alright. I'll just run over here and get some nether quartz from this. That's fine. I still have to set up the nether portal here, actually. There we go, 4, that's fine. Okay. Alright. I'll, between this episode and next, I'll go gather some nether quartz. It's really just, not really any kind of difficulty to it, it's just a hassle. Alright. And we'll go ahead and get some sticks. And I forgot to grab redstone. Alright. But yeah, storage drawers are something, they're fairly new to me. They may have been around longer, but I've only started using them for, I guess, the past few months, I guess. I'm trying to think of what the first pack, I think the first pack I started using them in was, Infinity Skyblocks. And, I actually quite liked them. So they're kind of nice as an early game setup, for like cheap stuff. Now you're gonna have to make one of these drawers. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and make some of the 2x2 spruce. So to get that, let me see. I've got some chests. We'll just need to make ourselves some slabs. So let's do a decent amount of slabs actually. And 2x2, that's 1x2. Actually, I think I want to do the 1x2s, so we'll do that. Okay. And then we'll get our drawer controller. And we're also going to go ahead and get some of this, let me find it here, the trim right here. We're just going to get some of this spruce trim. I'm going to need more wood. So, and if you notice, I did go ahead and make the flux infused axe because we had some leftover flux crystals, and the flux infused axe is really nice because you can charge it up, or you can infuse it, and it's going to let you chop down the whole tree and like the surrounding grass and everything. It's really nice. So let's go ahead and set our drawer controller up. I think, how do I want to do this? I don't know if I want to set it, yeah, we'll just set it right here. And then we'll dig out beneath it and just run this over to here. And basically the way storage drawers works is where most mods add like a pipe or something, storage drawers connect through other drawers and trim. So if we just put down trim here, it doesn't actually store anything, but it does connect the whole system. So we can just run that down, and then we can put our storage drawers down like this. And from here on out, we don't have to run any more trim. We can just put the drawers here, and as long as they're connecting to other drawers, that's fine. And so what we'll do is, let me see here. Let me grab just some assorted junk. Mainly like just mob drop stuff. Stuff of that nature. And we'll throw arrows into that one. We'll throw, I don't know, bones into this one. We'll do string and spider eyes and rotten flesh, gunpowder, and ender pearls, and a couple heads here. There we go. And so basically these are stored, and depending on the storage drawer that you do, so for example if you do like the singles, the 1x1s right here, they're only going to store one item, but they hold 32 stacks of that item, you know, for each drawer that you put on there. The 1x2s will hold, you know, 2 different items like what we have right now, but it will only hold 16 stacks per drawer. And by the way, if you notice, you know, we could have done those. There's also these half ones that I made. Now these only hold 8 per drawer, 8 stacks. But they're thinner and I like the look more. And honestly, 8 stacks for this kind of stuff, I feel like is probably fine. And if not, we can always upgrade it, which I'll show you how to do that in a second. And there's also a 2x2 right here. These only hold 4 stacks per drawer, but they do hold, you know, 4 items. So I don't believe, oh there is a 2x2 full block as well that holds 8 per drawer. So you've got quite a few different options, and there's one, you know, one for each different kind of vanilla wood. And you can't really use modded wood with this, is one of the only downsides of it. But so it basically just stores the items in there, and then you can, you know, extract them. Of course, it does remove the item from there, so it's not going to store that. But what you can do is you can make yourself a drawer key, which is pretty easy. But we are going to need some of these upgrade templates, which we'll want to make those. Anyway, drives me insane. Let me get some sticks here. We'll need quite a few sticks, because I gotta make torches too after this episode, because I was down mining and totally ran out of torches. So does it work with, no, it doesn't work with trim. Okay, let's go ahead and I think we can do it with the 1x2s. So let me just oh, that's trim, whoops. Oh, I've got some of those. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. It's one of those things I just take for granted when it's not around. So let's just get some compact we'll do these, that's fine. That'll give us 4 of those, and then we can just make some upgrade templates like so. Let's just make a couple of these, and put one of these up there. We'll make one more set of upgrade templates. Okay, there we go. And now what these are for is these are for making upgrades similar to the Java barrels, but one thing I like about this over the Java barrels is you don't have to upgrade, like you don't have to do these well, the oh, what's it called, the slot upgrades. So you don't have to do those to give it a certain amount of slots or anything like that. to apply the upgrades. You can just apply them as is. So what we'll do here is let's go ahead and make our drawer key here. Let me see this chest. We'll get a couple gold. And where's my crafting? Alright. Oh, I can't. That's right, I can't shift click with this. Alright, so that gets us our drawer key. Now there's also the concealment key, so you can hide like your labels and stuff. I don't really ever use that. The personal key, so if you're on a server, you know, you can lock it. Packing tape is similar to the dolly. If you use packing tape on a drawer, you can pick it up, it goes in your inventory, and you can move it. And then once you set it back down, you can take the packing tape off, and it will be, back to how it was with its inventory and everything. Now, if you break it without using the packing tape, it is just going to bust and throw its contents everywhere. What else was I going to grab? Oh yeah, I was going to do storage upgrade. So there's quite a few different storage upgrades that you can do. You can do a 2 times base value, 3 times, 5 times, 8, and 13 as well. You can also do a status upgrade, so it's going to show a bar when it's full. It's going to show the fill level right there. Void upgrade, just like the Java barrel, any extra stuff that goes in there gets destroyed. That's creative mode. That's creative mode. Redstone, so you can emit a signal based on the total storage, and it'll vary, from 0 at nothing all the way up to 15 at full. And that one is for, I believe that one's just if it's full, if I recall correctly on that. Oh yeah, that's for if the signal will be based on, say you have a 4x4, it's going to emit the signal based on the slot with the most items, and then the slot with the least items for that. So we're not going to use too much of that this episode, but I will show you how the upgrades work. So we'll just make just a standard iron upgrade, and if you notice, they're fairly cheap. Just sticks and 4 pieces of iron is going to get you that. So there we go. And by the way, the upgrades are iron, gold, obsidian, right? Yeah, diamonds, and then emeralds. So you got those 5 different ones to use. And there we go. And let's say, which one do I want to upgrade? Still got to build this out. Let's go ahead and upgrade the rotten flesh one, I guess. So if you notice, you can shift right click and it opens up this little GUI here. You can see your different drawers and how much stuff's in it. There we go. And so if we want to put this storage upgrade in here, we can do that. We can just just click it right in there, and it's not limited to a certain number. You can fill all this with emerald upgrades if you want. That's generally what I do. If I'm using it early on like a Skyblocks for like iron or something, it's kind of nice to have that, just tons of storage. And so now both of these drawers can both get 2 times the base value. So if you notice, the stack limit up there at the top on any eye says that it's now 16 and it's got a times 2. So if we were to take this back out, it's back down to just a times 1. So an empty hand here. There we go. And so that's how the upgrades work. Now the drawer key, you can just shift, or no, it's just right click, sorry. You can just right click and it will lock the contents of this chest. So even if I pull out, say, all the string, there's no string in there right now, but whoops. no string, but it's, you know, it keeps that storage slot. And now what the drawer controller is for is, say you have something in your inventory that will go into some of these storage drawers, you can just double right click and it will take the items and put it in there. However, if you have empty slots like these, it's not just going to take random items out of your inventory and throw them in there. It's only going to insert items that actually have a slot. So, you know, you can set your whole storage system up with exactly what, you know, what items are supposed to go where, and it will just send them in there, you know, as you've set it up. And there's also this controller slave. And now what this does, basically the drawer controller is where you can pipe in items. Now you can connect to each individual drawer if you so desire, or you can just connect your pipe straight into the drawer controller and it's going to sort the items for you and put them where they go. So it's definitely the way I suggest to do it. However, you can also make these controller slaves, which are pretty much the same exact recipe as the drawer controller, except for the diamonds replaced with gold. You can set these up. You know, you still have to connect them with the trim, but or the drawers or whatever. But basically, those will allow you to have another access point that you can pipe into and out of, that, you know, connects directly into your system. So if you want to, you know, build down here or whatever, and you don't want to have to run pipes all the way up to your controller every time, you can just set up those slaves and they'll take the items as well. So it's pretty much the exact same as the controller, so I'm not going to craft that out because we don't actually need it right now. And let's see. The other major thing from the mod that's also really, really nice, you can do these frame drawers too, but is this compacting drawer. And we'll go ahead and throw one of these together because I absolutely love these things. I should have some cobble. Yeah, actually I think that's cobble. Okay. And we've got redstone, iron. Get just a bit of that. And let's run back over here because I want to be able to shift click the stuff in. Alright, so let's get ourselves a couple pistons here. And I only made one. Okay. And compacting drawer doesn't want to shift click in. Why is that? Oh, because I don't have a drawer. Okay. So let me make a drawer really, really quick. It is a little bit expensive on the wood, but that's okay, because it's totally worth it. I mean, this mod, you know, in general. These compacting drawers are going to connect up the same way, you know, as long as they're touching. That's all that counts. Now this is going to get moved. I'm just kind of setting it here to show it to you guys really, really quick. And what makes these compacting drawers so nice, it's what you love to use for like my metals and stuff. So let's say silver, for example, because we've got quite a bit of that. We'll run it over here and throw it in here. And if you notice, just throwing in those silver bars opened up all kinds of, you know, different blocks here. So what this allows us to do is, you know, if we shift right click, we can open it up and see that we have 64 ingots in here, which is what I put in there. But that basically, it translates to 576 nuggets, or 7 blocks. And what you can do is you can just left click and you can grab a block or throw the block back in. You can just grab nuggets. You can grab ingots. So you can just freely you know, get your blocks, your nuggets, your ingots without having to you know, take them out and then craft them and all that mess. It just handles all of that for you, which is amazing. And then of course you can just right click there and it's going to take all those ingots out of our inventory. Also, if you have blocks, nuggets, it's going to take that as well and you know, store them in this And so it's kind of nice. And then really quickly, the last thing I want to show you for this is I just want to go ahead and show you the packing tape. I believe I have slime balls, maybe. If not, then maybe we won't be able to. Okay, maybe we won't be able to. I forget which mod or which pack. I know Infotech 2 is the one that I have a bunch of slime balls in, because we were right next to a bunch of slime spawns and stuff at the beginning of it. So basically that's the storage system that we're going to use for right now, and then down the road we'll get into applied logistics. And like I said, I mean, if you guys want to see a logistics pipe setup, that's fine. I will happily do one if that's something you guys are interested in, but otherwise I won't worry too much about setting it up. But if it's something that you have questions about or whatnot, I'd be more than happy to do that, because it's not too bad. It's kind of fun to set up in a way. But yeah, I think we'll end the episode there. Like I said, I mean, I'm trying to get the episodes back down below an hour. Around 30 minutes is my goal, but I do have a tendency to run them a little bit long, or a lot long. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I know it was mainly just a storage drawers tutorial and kind of a pneumatics update and everything to the system. And we still got a bit of pneumatics. Like I said, next episode we'll be setting up the elevator. It's just I've got to get a lot of blue plastic, like a whole lot of blue plastic, because let's see. For each of these elevators, the elevator bases, we're going to need, 2 of these pneumatic cylinders plus 2 gray plastics for 4 of these elevator bases. And, each of these pneumatic cylinders are 6 blue plastic. So you're talking 12 blue plastic for every 4 elevators. And, it may not sound like a lot. However, with the depth, I want to say it's like 50, what was it, 50 something, 52, let's take a quick look here. Oh, well, it's 63, that's right, it's 63 to the bottom, the very bottom. But to the actual last floor is 51. So, which I believe we'll need 52, and for every elevator base it adds an additional 4 blocks that it can move. So we're actually going to need to, this worked out just perfect, and we're going to need to fill out all 14 of these, or 13 of these. Yeah, 13 of these. Yeah, that's right. 13 of these with elevator bases to get the full length of this, to get it to move that full length. So we're going to need, plus the area is actually a 4x3, so 12, 12 by 13 to 100 and see, I'm not we're gonna need a bunch of them though, which we probably won't set them all up next episode. Sorry, I'm like doing math in my head here. It'll be what, 156 156 of those, so quite a bit of blue plastic will be needed, and quite a bit of gray plastic and a lot of compressed iron. Like I said, we probably won't set up all of them next episode. We might just do like a 2x2 or a 3x1 or something, Plus, we're going to have to make these elevator frames, and it's quite a bit of setup with it. So I've got to get a bunch of mining done before next episode, get a lot of compressed iron, get a lot of blue plastic, which we've actually got, a good amount of LPG, and we can always turn this gasoline into LPG as well. So that's an option as well. Plus, I'm actually kind of low on coal, and I don't just want to blow like a ton of EE3. I can't think of the word for it, but I don't want to blow a ton of that just to get a bunch of coal or whatnot. And I don't believe, if I recall correctly, these don't have an exchange value, so neither do any of the elevator pieces. So we've got quite a bit of setup to get done. I'm gonna try to get most of it done off camera, but like I said, we probably won't have enough to do the full elevator, but we'll get started with it next episode. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it was more of just a tutorial for storage drawers. I know a lot of people, myself included, when I first started with that mod, I didn't fully understand how things worked. By the way, before I forget, the setup for this is basically you have a 25 by 25 by 25, I think it is, range from the controller that you can run trim. Now, if you go out farther than that, you're not going to be able to connect the controller anymore, no matter how much trim and stuff you have set. So you've got about 12 blocks in every direction that you can, set this up. So I feel like it's a very generous amount of space, but just be aware of that. So if you can't do just big long strings of drawers, so you kind of have to have like a decently compact setup for that. So, but like I said, I do feel like it's enough space to really get a lot done with it. So, but anyway, I guess we'll end the episode out there. If you do have any more questions about the storage drawer stuff that we covered, or the pneumatics upgrades and updates, I know I just kind of touched on this stuff, but I feel like it's kind of sufficient for what you need to know for the regulator tubes and stuff. Oh, by the way, these advanced PCBs are just yellow plastic, redstone, and printed circuit boards, so they're not too crazy. Pretty easy to craft. And these regulator tube modules are just black plastic. And no, oops, there we go. Safety tube modules and pressure tubes for those. I was about to say, because I didn't really, I've got some black plastic here, but that wasn't for the safety tube modules. So, but yeah, they're pretty easy to craft, pretty easy to set up. But if you do have any more questions on it, just feel free to let me know in the comments or on any of the social media listed below, and I'd be more than happy to help you out with any of that. So, but yeah, so I hope you guys join me for next episode. We'll be setting up our elevator, and then hopefully soon after that we'll be setting up drones. Depending on the elevator, I may have to take some time to lick my wounds as far as resources and stuff go for Pneumaticraft, but we'll see, because I've also got to set up the compression system down below that we're going to use to power the elevator and everything. And I'm also going to have to come up with an idea for some kind of like emergency access, because if something happens and our air pressure goes away, we still want to be able to get into our base and move through the floors. So I'm going to have to figure out some kind of a setup for that we want to do. We might do Melissa's doors for that. Oh, it doesn't have Melissa's doors. Okay, we'll scratch that. Unless I decide to add Melissa's doors, because it's just a decorative mod and I really love it, and I might throw it into the pack. We'll see. Just like I threw the chunk loaders, because it's something I can't live without. But anyway, I'll quit rambling now. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's very, very much appreciated. We are just about to hit 100 subs, and I'll be doing a short thank you video, when that comes up. I'll let you guys know what where the actual name to Asgaard came from. It's just a short little story, kind of a good memory, at least for me. So you guys will understand where that came from, and also. Yeah, but also I just want to say thank you guys for all the support and all the suggestions, and those of you that have been watching and keeping up with the series, thank you so much. And if there's something, as always, if there's something in particular that you want to see, us set up or something, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just be working on the base and getting this all fleshed out and decorated and keep working on a little bit of pneumatic craft, and after that, after we finish up the elevator and stuff, we'll be moving into a new power source, because we really need to update our power before we jump into more machines, because a couple pneumatic dynamos isn't really going to cut it. And yeah, I can't remember, I had something else written down. I think it's in the other room, but yeah, so anyway, until next episode, do take care. Sorry I rambled so much, and I hope to see you next episode. Bye bye for now.